Hi, this is Matthew Cutler-Welsh with Passive House Accelerator, and thanks for tuning into this special bonus episode of the Passive House podcast, recorded live at PhiusCon 23 in Houston, Texas. And a big thanks to Zola Windows for their support of this series. I'm here with Hideki Shibaike, who has just completed his presentation on heat recovery ventilation. Well, first of all, thank you for coming. Is this your first time to Houston?
Yes.
But not your first time at a Phius.
Not only
conference.
Houston, but the whole Texas.
But you have been to a Phius conference before?
It was participate at San Francisco conference. At that time, they call it the North American Passive House Conference. And so since then, every year I participate in the conference.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about Passive House now in Japan. Is it very well known?
The other counterpart of Passive House organization, somewhat popular information.
Yeah.
But the beginning of we developed to have a passive house for Japanese climate, and we have been focused on the hot and humid and summer cooling and dehumidification load reduction. And so the German passive house concept is just for cold climate. They don't have so much air conditioning system in Germany at that time. Mm-hmm. Now they have some, but so still they are good for the cold climate, but not so much focused on the hot and humid, and also the reducing cooling and dehumidification load. Especially the dehumidification load reduction is more important these days, and because the higher performance assemblies can reduce the sensible heat load. Mm-hmm. However, the just latent heat loads stay behind, and those are all processed by the air conditioning system. And
you showed some pictures in your presentation of houses which, to me, having not been to Japan, looked like they could be from other countries. Has housing changed much in Japan recently? I mean, I guess I have a perception of very lightweight housing and lots of windows and natural ventilation. Is that true for more traditional houses, and is housing changing?
Partly yes, partly no. And so depending on the budget they can consume for the house, and sometimes they introduce triple pane windows with the exterior interior layer and the cavity interior. Mm-hmm. And however, the more popularly propagated houses, just cavity insulation. Our building code is gradually increased. So I showed in the panel that the U factors are reduced.
Right. And what about people? Is there a cultural change required to move to what you were advocating for in your presentation? Seemed like a lot more systems, a lot more mechanical systems. Is that a cultural shift for a lot of people in Japan?
Still, we need a certain cultural shift to introduce the full functional of mechanical system.
Yeah. And so I guess the core of your research was looking at whether heat recovery ventilation is applicable in hot climates. So what was the findings? What are your recommendations?
Heat recovery ventilation is sure to estimate the performance, and energy recovery some uncertainty of the recovering moisture, and also it can mix to some exhaust air to the fresh air because of the recovery mechanism. Nowadays, they use the organic membranes, the papers, which can exchange moisture as well as some bio deteriorated.
So you're describing the difference between ERV or energy recovery versus just a pure heat recovery without the exchange of humidity. And I think you summarized that heat recovery or energy recovery in your climate works quite well in winter, but not so well in summer.
And in summer anyway, we need the good performed air conditioning, not so cool down, and just remove the moisture. And meanwhile, the Japanese manufacturers are starting to provide the reheat air, but reheat air energies are taken from the exterior unit. And so it has better performance.
Yeah.
However, it's just beginning.
And do you think the type of systems that would work well, are they going to require lots of automation, or do they or control by the user, or what's the best way for the system?
We need automation, and so we just establish the control strategy and device in the system, and so people can't worry about when we will start the ventilation or when we will start the window opening.
Yeah. So where would you like to see things go from here? What's next, and what needs to happen, particularly in Japan and in the places that you're familiar with?
I think these days I'm thinking to establish the ERB system or HRB system. It doesn't matter, E or H, but with some exhaust ventilator for summer and synchronizing. Yeah. But the problem is unbalanced OA and EA. Any system can accept such unbalanced EA or OA airflows, or if it doesn't, and just switching airflow rate for winter to summer or intermediate season, and with some exhaust ventilation with air intake. And air intake should not be the intake fan, because the intake fan can move up or warm up the outdoor air.
Yeah. Excellent. Hey, well, thank you. It looks like fantastic research, and hopefully there's a lot more people that you've encouraged to take things up and improve the research, to get more technology out there and make systems work.